Vibe Show 97.9, home of the most exclusive guest on the planet, man. Y'all already know how we do it. We keep the vibes on an all-time high. Tonight, we got an amazing show lined up for y'all tonight. So I'm telling y'all right now, you don't want to miss this one right now. I got a treat for y'all tonight. It's going down. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Vibe Show 97.9. Tonight, we got a special guest joining us on the show tonight. I'm telling you, doing major things out here. Y'all listen, when it comes down to this hip-hop stuff, I'm telling you, this guy right here, not only does he incorporate motivation and uplift within his music, man, he's just an all-around dope human being, you know what I mean? I'm super excited to have this guy on the show tonight. I'm talking about hip-hop recording artist, the one and only Euro Gotit in the building. Let's get him in. What's up, baby?
Everything good?
Yo, man, we doing? Yeah, man, everything great, man. We've been anticipating this one, man.
For sure.
How you feeling? How your day was? Let's jump it off like that.
Blessed. Every day, wake up, business, be a father, you know, do what I got to do, make it happen every day. So, like, you know, coming from
Absolutely.
not having nothing to do at all on a day-to-day basis to being booked and busy, it's gratitude, grateful.
Yeah, that's definitely a blessing, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had an opportunity to dive into your story a little bit, and it touched me. I'm not gonna lie, it touched me, and I definitely applaud your journey, which you still have a long way to go, but I applaud your journey of making that 360. And I was just super amazed. You know, we're not even talking about the music aspect of it. I'm talking about like your mindset and the way, you know, from where you come from, like you said, you know, coming from the mud, you know what I mean, to where you, to the king that you are now. So I definitely applaud you on that, man.
Thank you, bro.
From Atlanta, West Side. Let's talk about growing up on the west side of Atlanta, man. Let's start there. On the west side.
The west side, that's, you know, like they say, the west side, the best side. I end up moving over to the east side. I want to say when I was around like 9 or 10, but
Right.
like all my roots was in the west side, so I still went over to school in the west side. Everything I did, like a lot of the icons that I looked up to, they all came from the west side, from T.I., one of my mentors, Young Dro, a lot of people I looked up to, Andre, Big Boy, like, yeah, the west side where a lot of stuff started, like, that's where my history started. So it's like I'm proud of where I come from, seeing the growth and development, you know, that those guys made.
Right. Would you is it safe to say that, you know, that's where some of your musical influences come from? Some of those names that you named?
I would say lifestyle wise, yes. As far as With me growing up in the church, I didn't really pattern myself. I wasn't really exposed to secular music, like to rap and stuff like that. Everything was gospel music, gospel music. So
Really?
yeah, so it wasn't really until I got older that I just really started transitioning. It's like I really picked up my own way with how I heard rap music, but it wasn't enough to influence me to start like certain individuals. I just admire more so people's life story, knowing where they come from, and staying, true to the roots and stuff like that. And I think I'm more so pattern like a lot of the guys that I look up to. They pay their own way. They didn't they didn't become obvious sellouts like a lot of the other guys that you see. So that's what I'm more so the morals and respect and standards that they carry.
Right. It's interesting that you say that, man. Having that gospel background, that church background or whatever. Let's talk about that. I think that's interesting. Let's talk about that. And and I don't want to say derailing off of the path, but coming into your own. Let's say that with when you're younger, you had to
Right.
go to church. We ain't have no options and all of
We
that
ain't
stuff or whatever. You know what
right.
I'm saying? But
Right.
as you grew and into a young man and coming into your own, um, at what point would you say that you took a different path?
Honestly, I want to say I really started more so thinking about creating my own path at 16.
Mm,
Um, I idolized my dad a lot, seeing that he pushed positivity through me, but I also noticed he had a lot of street ties, and I kind of,
mhm.
when you watching movies and stuff like that, it kind of looked like, oh, my dad's like the hood figure, like he's the one everybody know and everybody respect. And it was like I did grow accustomed to liking that. You like the things that you see. We don't naturally grow up just saying I want to be like Malcolm X, I want to be like Martin Luther King, until you're exposed to certain things that just kind of catch your attention. So
Right.
it was like around 18, 17 really. That's when I pretty much, I started playing around in the streets. My pops caught whiff of it and just pretty much was telling me like, just understand like it's like it leads to bigger doors. You don't just get out here and just stick to one thing.
Right.
With me not being exposed to the streets, I thought it was. I thought it was just you get into one thing, and then one thing led to another, and then next thing I know, I'm locked up for 9 felonies, and it's kind of like it's real. It's called a trap for a reason. Like it ain't just being in the trap house with dope. The trap is real. Like you will fall victim to it if you get caught up in the how quick that money come, like the lifestyle and all the stuff that people glorify. Yeah, you in the trap.
Right. And I
Yeah,
was gonna I definitely can relate. I went down that similar path as well. I come from, a single parent home. So, not having that relationship with my father, you and me being the oldest sibling, you can get away with certain things with moms. Moms
right,
can only hold it down so much, but
right,
can't really teach you how to be a man or pump that
right,
fear in you
right,
like that. So, I definitely can relate to that. And I was gonna ask you about the bid, because like you said, being in those streets like that, it's a lot that comes along with that. Um, and like you said, it's not movies, the
right,
things that we see on movies. Once
right,
it's in real
right.
time, you know what I
In
mean?
real,
Yeah, when you in
yeah,
real time with it, it ain't
real
movies,
time
you know what I
different.
mean?
In movies they show you get locked up and you be back out on the street in 3 years. You be like, that
Yeah,
wasn't nothing.
yeah.
Nah,
Right, right. Talk to
nah.
me about when it got real, because we go through a series of events when we in the streets and we in that rebellious stage in our life. It's a series, you go through probation phase, and then you could bond out and all of that stuff or whatever, but then you get to that final phase where you can't bond out and you got to go and do that time, that's when it gets real. Talk to me about that point in your life where it got real, where Euro couldn't bond out. It wasn't no going to court no
Man,
more. It wasn't none of that. It was, you got to do this time.
it was a situation pretty much where I got my scare when I first went to pre-trial, when I first went to court. This was after I got locked up. You know, I got locked up, and because you're in the streets, regardless of whether you did or not, I already knew I was man enough to hold my own tent. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't, man, you know, you in there, I ain't telling about all this, that, and the third. And then you get to court, and then it all flashed before your mind. If you got a car, see, the problem is we really do have a lot of zombies walking around for real. When you're a zombie,
Mm.
you don't have a conscience. And at this point, when you don't care no more, you're a zombie. You should never get
Facts.
to your point is your life should never get to a point where it's like, I don't care. Like, nah, you always got something to live for. It's always something bigger. But I was zombified for a moment. Like it was like, yeah, yeah, and, you know, they gonna know me, they gonna know me. And I took that stand when I sat down, and I had to be identified. It was like my mom in the court, all my siblings in the court, my
Right.
pops in the court, and I'm looking around like I'm young, and I'm like, I ain't got no, you know, I ain't got no future. I ain't been married, I ain't lived life. It's almost like I'm finna be dead, and then it's like low key, it's like you pretty much dead practically when you got to go sit behind a wall with over 300 men. Ain't no telling who gonna try to kill you, who gonna try to rape
Yeah.
you, who on this, who on that. You kind
Right.
of like that's low key the next level to hell. You know what I mean? So it was like
Facts.
what I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, dang, like I had to ask myself and answer, like, was it all worth it? And it wasn't never
Mm.
worth it. Like it wasn't nothing that I was doing that was worth me being where I was. And so it
Right.
was kind of like that when it got real for me. And I, you know, it was like I had already accepted if I was gonna have to do the time, I'm gonna have to do the time. Like I'm not gonna fold or nothing like that. I ain't rolling or nothing like that. Like I'm gonna do my
Right.
time. But in actuality, I didn't want to because my conscience
Mm-hmm.
clicked back in, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what's going on?
Right.
So it was like that was pretty much like, you know, that like, and I sat in the county, so they say county, I didn't go to prison. County hard time. I was
Mm-hmm.
on like 19 and 5, come out two and a half in the morning, 2.5 in the evening. They feed you twice a day, give you a little set lunch that's supposed to be a midnight snack, whatever. So it was crazy, you know, like fighting, all kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like it wasn't a wave. It wasn't a
Right.
wave at all. Like it wasn't a wave, and it was like, you know, God, it was like God gave me, it was at that moment like God gave me that second chance. Like I ain't fold, I ain't never ran on nobody, no nothing, ain't no statement on me, ain't
Right.
no flaw on my name. It's just like, dang. And it's like for God to grant me this second opportunity, it's like I know I'm out here for a purpose. And it's beyond
Mm-hmm.
what I ain't looking at like, oh, I wig, I'm good. Nah, home, you got a job to do. Screw the other sucker, what they want to do. You got a job to
Right.
do. You
Right.
get that.
I definitely feel you on that. And that's deep, man. That's deep because, like I said, I can relate. I went through a similar experience, and I think that moment that, you know, when the judge said that 10, and I looked over at my mom. I think that's what really, like, really cut me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing that hurt, seeing her hurt like that, and it was nothing that she could possibly do. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
mom
that's
would put the
real.
house
Nah,
up,
you
would
real.
do
You
all
speaking
type
real.
of stuff or
I
whatever.
can
But at
relate.
that point, it was nothing that she could do because I had to go do what I had to do.
You had to. That's
So
right.
when I read that in your story, it really touched me, man, to see where you are today, because it only, if that's not inspiration for a lot of people who may be lost souls out there, I don't know what is, man. You
Yeah.
are a walking definition,
Yeah.
alive and well, coming from that experience, showing where at any moment you could turn around and
Facts.
change it. So
Facts.
I applaud you on that, bro. Real talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, let me ask you something. Okay, so at that moment of, I'm pretty sure you were formulating plans have nothing but time to think. That's one thing you do have when you away, time to think.
That's all you got. Facts.
Were you thinking what, because before you went in, were you already kind of dibbling into music, or at what point did you decide to jump into the entertainment business and do it on a serious level?
It's crazy because honestly, we asked a question on how these young kids and like how everybody getting caught up in the music. I had been doing music. The problem is the music wasn't paying at that time. What was paying in the way I was getting my studio time and the way I was coming up with funds so I can put on clothes and do stuff. I had to, not had to, but I was involved in illegal activity. I had to do what I had to do, but I turned around and did it for the right purpose. I wasn't doing it to be looking like nobody else or nothing. Like I always was trying to fund my career. It just so happened I don't got all day to work 8 hours, get tired. Now my check is only $200 and I got to use 150 of that on studio time and live. That's too slow when I can just make other moves. And it's like, I can take care of what I'm really trying to do. And the problem is I got caught up in the bread and getting caught up in the bread. It mess you up because it's kind of like I'm a pain type rapper. I rap about everything, but I rap about what I feel, what's really going on. It's like I don't like to just make up scenarios because I like to be around people that I know. And when it's like, oh boy, you remember that? Like we do that because it really happened. Right. So that's what happened with the music too. You get caught in with, you might say, we did this, that, and the third, and then your homie sitting in there like, we did too. You get geeked because you like, I'm really rapping I'm living what I'm rapping. Like you get caught up in it. And that's pretty much where that was the situation of like, how it took a turn for me. It was always the music. I was always focused on the music. I really started dipping in the streets because I already knew I wanted to do music, but I also knew I didn't have a source of income to fund that. So when I first was like, yo, I want to get on the studio. And they told me, studio gonna be $45 an hour. I'm like, dang, I'm thinking they talking about $10 an hour. I ain't know 45. And then you want to go to better quality studio, it costs more. So you got to up whatever you doing and to be able to, sponsor it.
Right. So, with that being said, I can again relate to, I was once, I chased that dream for over 20 years. Trying to do music, and I felt like that was the only skill that God blessed me with at one point. You know what I mean? And you already know through that journey, I'm pretty sure you've ran into different situations that may have seemed like hope, like, hey man, ran with this group, this guy gonna put you on, or this label here. So I know you done went through all those. That's why I'm saying, like, when I read your story, I felt it automatically. I was like, yo, I can relate to this because I've been there, man. Like, and in that space, in that time, when I was in the music game, man, and trying to do it and trying to get on, it was different. There was no social media. Things were out of the trunk. It was more physical, more hand to hand. You had to really get out there and try to garner those fans and talk to me.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think it was easier then than it is now?
To be honest with you, man, that's a dope question, because I have these debates all the time, man. And I honestly think that from the organic grind aspect, I think it's harder now, bro. To me, I think it's harder now because I feel like you have to, if you're not personifying a certain type of lifestyle, got the gyms on, jumping out, taking pictures with the G5, got the race outside or something like that. If you don't look like you've already made it, it don't really matter how dope your music is, because people are garnering fans for different reasons. I felt like at least being around that time, at least people was really, if you was dope,
it was
people
organic.
really loved your music. It didn't matter if you
Yeah.
had on a Dookie rope or, because I feel like at that point back then, it was really about the music.
Yeah.
Now it's about
Yeah.
something totally different. What if you
It
just
is.
a dope artist and can't personify that lifestyle? Don't have the wraith. Don't you can't go to Diddy's parties and all this stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Will you still get that same love? I don't
No, you
think so.
won't. No. It's so hard. It's so hard to book shows now. I'm telling you, I'm so blessed because I'm one of the few in Atlanta that's getting booked for shows, because the problem is social media has saturated people to where people feel like they know you because they see you all the time on social media.
Yes.
So now you can't even it's hard to make ticket sales. It's
Yes.
hard to make people feel like it's not you a DM away. But I
Right.
also think that while it also seemed it was easier back in the day, is because the recipe has already been found for back in the day method. So it's like, if we would have known I need to do this back in the day, we didn't really know that. Somebody found out it worked for a couple other people, and then something else transitioned. We in this new time.
Right, right. You're right. And don't get me wrong. The thing that I do like about today's era is artists being in a little bit more control of their
Yes,
product. You know,
yes,
I do like that aspect, and being able to touch different cities in one push of a button
right.
with getting your music out there. But even within social media, though, it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is, man, because I
Right.
feel like somewhere along the line, the game has changed to the point to where it's more about popularity now.
There you go. It's the
You know
clout.
what I
The
mean?
clout, you don't have to pay for clout. They catching everybody who wants some clout. We're gonna give it to you because this don't cost nothing.
Right, right, right. Tell me this, man. You know, because like I said, you've been around for a while and you've been doing music for a while too. I'm pretty sure, you know, you've been out there, you know, passing CDs out, passing your flyers out, all that. I know you know about all of that right there.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? Because you can take that hustle. You probably got that hustle incorporated into the new, you know, got it
no,
all mixed up to perfect the way that you're moving now. And I definitely applaud and also the street cred helped a little bit as well too, incorporated into your brand as well too, because you know when you do put your music out there, people can identify and be like, well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie,
you know
dude,
what he talking about.
really
Yeah,
thorough, dude,
yeah,
really thorough. I cut for that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Tell me,
yeah.
talk to me about um the reception, how your city received you when you put your music out there, when you first put that music out there, you know, and was serious about putting this out there, had a bag, had your bread behind you, and was doing it. How did Atlanta receive you?
To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie. I think that was one of the most blessed times of my life ever. Like, the thing that I feel like I got over a lot of artists right now is I'm not known for my music like that. I have features with everybody. People don't really know me for my music. They know
Right,
me because I relate. Like, and that's deeper than being an artist. Like, you know, artist, you an artist, yeah, you up. You go down, yeah, okay, who the next artist? But when you're a person and people like they value your opinion, they rock with you. I get people all the time like stop me, like, bro, you helped me get through so much in life. You helped me this, that, and the third. That's how Atlanta always like receive me. And I think that's why it's like I always felt like it was so hard to get away from my city. Like, you see the hate, but it's kind of like it's hate and it's love. Which one you choose to focus on? And I can definitely say, like, it's hate in Atlanta, yeah. But I feel the love. The love is feel more realer than anything for me. Like, it's kind of like nobody really like, not in a bad way. People didn't gravitate to me because of my music. It
right,
wasn't, you know, like even when I had listening parties, it's like I still remember all my listening parties being packed out. And it wasn't never because I was the most popular person in Atlanta. It was
right,
like everybody would come out and like genuinely embrace me. Like like it's a family reunion. And it's like, you know, and it's like when I dap people, it ain't gotta be no, oh, what's up, how you doing? Just let's take this picture. It's
Yeah.
like people want to stop and say words of encouragement. Like I ain't gonna lie, I think honestly, that's what got me feeling like I'm bigger than a lot of people. Like people ain't really it ain't the artistry that people knew. Like people still don't know the artistry like that. Like they could probably call off 3-4 songs, maybe 2, maybe 1. I don't care, but it's like they know
Right.
me and they
Right.
rock with me. And I be like, I don't know how much more blessed you can be as a person when you get that kind of attention. You know what I mean? That's different.
Right.
That's
Right.
different.
So you would agree, and we both can agree that the relationships are more valuable than
Yes.
anything in this entertainment business. Having the
Yes.
relationships, because you know, I kind of, it's just weird. It's just a weird space. I feel like we in today's entertainment business. I just think that it's a weird space because I feel like it's kind of segregated in a way, to the
Right.
point to where it's like it's groups.
Right.
You know, you cool with this group, you know, and you know, because the gatekeepers have changed.
Right.
It's different, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And the adjustments have to be made. But I think I liked it better when there were more identities back then, where you know you had, you know, you already knew how, you know, NWA and them was coming, you knew how Luke and them was coming, you knew how Tribe Called Quest. Everybody had their own creativity, and somewhere along the line, and it wasn't, everybody wasn't producers, everybody wasn't trying to be artists either. I think that it was more special then at that point, because now you can't even really get somebody to listen to a new joint that you got, because 9 times out of 10 they want you to hear something they got. Everybody's
Right.
an artist now. Everybody, don't nobody inspired to be nothing else. Everybody's an artist now. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
liked it better when it was special, where, you know, you really have to really put the work in. You know, like you said, you know, you got it out the mud. Use your hustle money to invest in what you understood that that's what it took, even though that might have not been the route you wanted to go, but that's the way you knew how to get the money to fund your dream, your career, what you wanted to do. Now I just feel like people are in the game now feeling like they automatically up there and automatically entitled, and don't even really have a story. Because
Right.
just because Euro did, you don't really, you see Euro now, you might just be introduced to Euro
Exactly.
now, but you don't
Exactly.
really know his story like that and know how
Right.
long he's been in the game.
Fact.
But you are different, because listening to your music, and anybody who listens to your music, you are sharing excerpts of your life.
Right.
And I
Fact.
feel like that's what's missing in the game.
Right.
Everybody rich, everybody balling, nobody had hard times, ain't nobody going through nothing, right?
Right. Right.
You do
Right.
that. And I love that, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think I think I think I think the game is actually more harder than it was back then now, because like you said, with it not being about talent, I think it's more so about what you willing to put out into the universe. And it's like a lot of these kids, a lot of these, you know, rappers or upcoming people who just catching hits out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, you see them, but they always go up and come down. Like, here today, gone tomorrow. It seemed like they would have never fell off, and then here they are and fell off. It's kind of like, it's about like the endurance now. Like, just see who
Right.
gonna really like just hang around till like they break. You know, Lil Durk's story.
Right.
He was rapping 10 years before it's like he got his break.
Right.
Like, the people that's, you just can't let go. You know, it ain't for everybody, because everybody gonna crash out, and everybody realize, oh, it's quick money in the rap game, but everybody ain't tapped into the long money. Everybody ain't got into the industry. They got a hit, and it's a difference.
Right.
So it's kind of like, you see who built the last, who, you know, by what you put out into the universe. It's like what people don't see. You just gotta keep pushing, because it's all gonna come back. And I feel like that's another reason why it's like understanding karma, understanding what I put out into the universe. I'd be like, dang, I'm gonna be here for a long time, like, because it's like I wish everybody good. I don't have no bad intents for nobody. I'm pure hearted. I'm good hearted. I have good intentions. Like, my intention for everybody to win, but more so like myself, more so me understanding I got a purpose for being here because I got a second opportunity. So it can't be just about music for me. Like it ain't meant for me to just pop off of music. It's like,
Right.
bro, I gave you a second chance, share your story, and I bless you according to whatever you want to do in exchange. So it's like,
Mm.
I take that. I take that. Like if I gotta, share my story, and that's what make other people like really take a stand for something and be a better individual instead of a better artist. I'm cool with that. Come on with it. Just cut that check. Like cut that bag for me.
Right, right.
I get my time
Yeah.
from God.
Was that always like the vision for you as far as with being an artist? Because like I say, you always have messages within your music. And was that always the plan for you, to knowing that you had this voice and this platform and had fans and had people listening to you or whatever, to put those messages within your music? Because you could have went a whole nother way. You could have personified the dope lifestyle, or whatever the case may be. You could have took any route with it, but yet you took this route, utilizing your talent and the opportunity that you have to have a voice and be heard, putting that message out there. Was that always the vision for you?
It was always God vision for me. When I was younger and growing up in the church, I literally always saw myself with tattoos in my face. I always saw my hands with tattoos, but I couldn't understand because I never seen that image. I ain't never seen
Right.
that image because I'm around church people. So I'm not hanging out. Like it wasn't until I got older that I started getting my dad friends who was in the street and stuff like that. But even them, they was more so like clean cut dudes. They wasn't looking like how I'm looking now. I always saw that when I was younger, and I knew I wanted to do music. I was playing drums, so I was like, I want to be a producer. I want to be a songwriter. I want to do something with some music. And I ain't gonna lie, I knew I didn't want to do gospel music either. But I'm like, that's how I naturally feel. But I always used to get random people, like random, not even people that was in the church, just random people. Wherever I worked there, wherever I was at, like in the club, certain females might tell me. Everybody just was like, I just see it's like you supposed to be a preacher. You supposed to do something with church. You supposed to, and then it's like after doing my time, the two just kind of coincide. It's like me being a modern day preacher don't incorporate me talking about the Bible and reading the Bible. It don't incorporate me going to speak in schools. It's other ways to touch lost souls, and church ain't, and getting saved and being one with God. It ain't being perfect like
Right.
what churches teach. It ain't the ideal of what religion teach you. It's like wanting to be a better person, wanting to have clean up your intentions and say, you know what, I can do right by this girl. I can do right by my kids. I can do right as a man. I can do right in society. Like who gonna
Right.
stop me? I still do my
Right.
thing to this day. Like, the streets know I still do my thing. I still pop out when I want to pop out. My face card good. I'm with Bloods, Crips, GD. I'm with everybody. And it's like, but they know me. Everybody know
Mhm.
me as like home gonna stand for something. It ain't
Mhm.
out selling I've been locked up. You don't want to go to jail. I'm not promoting that for you.
Facts.
I'm not telling
Facts.
you that's cool to go to jail. I'm not gonna do that. Knowing I done seen folks OD on heroin. You know what I'm saying? I threw up off that. That was something I couldn't take. I'll never sit here and say go sell dope after seeing what it did to somebody. I can't. I'm not going. If I talk about it, I talk about where I came from. I talk
Right.
about the road it took to get here. We ain't on that though. We on like this a whole new wave where it's like you don't even, my little brother try to hang with us and think he gotta hold it. Man, look, bro, all that's over. That gangster stuff, we paying folks for that now. We don't do that. That's corny now. We're not doing that.
Right.
We're not looking for ops. So it's like, yeah, to answer your question, it's like I always heard I was supposed to be a preacher, but I always saw myself doing music. And then it's just like that bid kind of made the two coincide where I had a way to deliver my message and do what I want to do at the same time. So
Facts. Facts. Let me ask you this, man. With the younger generation,
mm-hmm.
um, you know, it seemed like they're not lasting. Um, how are you navigating around all of that stuff? Like, with being as big of an artist as you are, I understand, like you said, you're more mature and have been through more things, but this game can pull you a certain type of way too, with seeing all of the youngsters flying up. And you know how you been in the game grinding for a long time, man, and you know, and it just ain't really popped off. And then somebody who just jumped off the porch just fly up. Do you think that that is strategically put in place like that? Do you think that the industry somehow
Yes.
like to take the younger youth with less wisdom, and because they could be more controlled by the
Yeah.
money?
Right. It's manipulation. And the thing is, I hate to say it, but I always tell people it's two ways to look at stuff. It's a bad side and it's a good side. You know, you get screwed over, that's the bad side of it. The upside to it, you learn from it.
Right.
The problem with it's like clout became such a hell of a drug that it's kind of like the labels are being smart. They don't. Why choose a book smart person who sat here and did his homework and understands splits and publishings, and you know he understand the business? Why would I sit here and go back and forth with him being talented when Lil Ray Ray over here just went crazy on TikTok,
Right.
and he willing to do show? He ain't never had no bread before. We can sign him for advance. He gonna sign right then and there. It's business, and you can't be mad. You can't. It's kind of like you just gotta understand like how I'm looking at it. Like I understand, like be independent. You ain't failed yet. Like what you gonna do? Fail and you ain't even on yet? You just gotta
Right.
keep. Can't do is get discouraged because you gotta understand like social media is like it's real long as you're on your phone. When you get off your phone, you don't know what's going on. You don't know who car he giving back. You don't know what money he giving back.
Right.
You don't know
Right.
who Johnson really is. You don't know if he get ready to get killed. You don't know what's going on. It's like mind your business, stay in your lane. Like do what you feel got to be done for you.
Right.
Sometimes I might see stuff and you know I do get discouraged at times, but it's like that's when I just go into praying. I just be like, I came too far. Why would I stop now? Like I'm not going back to no 9 to 5. I can't do that. Like gotta keep going, keep grinding.
Right, right. That patience, but you know that also comes from going through some things too.
Of
You've
course.
been through some things,
Yeah.
so naturally your mindset is automatically going to be different. Whether it's an artist, a fashion designer, whatever path you choose to dibble and dab in, you're going to be successful in it because your mind is already programmed and conditioned to win.
Right.
And you understand that sometimes winning might take a long time, like you said. You know,
Right.
I heard you saying, you know, they got some song, they got music that might have been out a couple years before it popped.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That was dope. That was dope. When I watched that interview, I thought that was really, really dope when you dropped that gem, but that gem of understanding how this the new entertainment business works.
Right.
And you're doing a good job the way you're navigating in it. Let me ask you this now. You have worked with a lot of big names, man. A lot of big names. And yet you're still humble throughout it all, being around, you know, the celebrity atmosphere and all of this stuff or whatever. I guess would you attribute that from maybe your street tides, or maybe already having a relationship with a lot of these cats? Maybe y'all came up around the same time, or just knew each other from affiliations or whatever, because I tell you, you got some impressive features, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got some big names. Can we talk about how these features, how were you able to get these features and make these connections and make dope music like that?
Okay, for sure. I think Gunna was the first feature I had. And the crazy part about it is, as much as I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. It's true that God will make your enemies your footstool. It's like outside of Roddy Ricch was organic. He hit me up first. He was like, bro, you dope. Came to Atlanta. We was both in Blue Flame together. He genuine guy. Like after we recorded the songs, he took him back to Meek to hear. Took him back to Atlanta. Like he was just an all around dope person. Everybody I worked with honestly have been truly dope as a person, as an individual, whether we met business related or whether we met personally. Mulatto, it was natural and organic. It was just like, you know, we spoke and it was like, oh, let's get in the yo. We got in the yo, you know, and that's how Future, real one. Like, I think more so it's like, instead of me feeling like, dang, I got all these people I don't work with, how come I'm not mainstream yet? Sometimes God just got a way of like showing you what he'll do for you, even with you having nothing. Like, you don't have to be at a certain status for me to do this for you. Now that I did it and I'm showing you and you still where you at, what you gonna do to get where you want to get to? And it's like, I just use that as motivation. Yeah, I did a song with Future, it ain't pop, but I did a song with Future and it got cleared. I ain't worried about the rest. I did a song with Baby. Everybody was like, bro, what happened? It should have been bigger. That wasn't my fault. But hey, I did a song with Baby. I did a song with people. And I feel like I just take the gas that God given me from that to say, you got this. You got this. You ain't got
Hang tough, man.
problems and you got
This doggone in a minute, we back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You know, we left off with the baby, with Lil Baby.
Yeah, the song, like with Lil Baby, it's just, I'm looking at all the features and stuff, and it's kind of like, this how God works. God just, he you don't have to be at a certain status for him to provide certain things. And the crazy part, I always manifested I wanted to work with the people that I'm working with, and it's like, God made it happen. Now I can't sit here and fault him and say, man, why did it blow up? Oh, it ain't your time yet. But you ain't at ground zero. Don't complain. Take what you gained from what you did, and notice, dang, if I played LeBron one-on-one and I'm in the NBA, I had to play him again next time around. Like, and hopefully we be playing for that playoff spot. Like, we hopefully be playing in the championship. I ain't, you know, it's never an L, it's a lesson. So it's kind of like, I'm even learning patience from that. Sometimes you think you have a gold mine in your hand, but that don't mean God's saying it's your time yet. You feel me? So I embrace all of those moments that I had, you know, me walking in the studio, Lil Baby knowing my song, and then next thing I know, that was my studio I record in. He done bought it out, and now I'm not even recording there because it was a certain energy that was in there. And it was just like, you know, at that time, everybody like, yo, that's Baby's best feature. And it was like, he blessed me. I ain't gonna cap. Home blessed me. Like, the Baby, like, you know, me getting called, the Baby asking my be at a video shoot that I ain't even at. And it's just like certain things you value that for real, because people ain't got to ask about you. T.I. calling me like, homie, where you at? Pull up, let's kick it. I never take none of that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are stuff that I value. Future telling me I'm fresh. Like, what? But I look up to you. Thug coming out the gas station, like, Euro, what's up, homie? Like, these stuff, I ain't gonna lie. I still feel humble enough to be like, wow, these people really, you know, Gucci Man. Euro, what's up, boy? I'm just kind of like, boy, I look up to y'all and y'all don't even know it, but it's like, y'all talking to me like a regular person, Lil Uzi. Everybody addressing me like like they know me, like it's just normal. So it's like, that kind of lets you know, like, yeah, I might not have blew up, but the right people know who I am. I can't stop. You feel me?
Facts. Yeah, facts. Man, you said something that I thought that was really, really dope that stood out to me. Yeah, that you stated you're working to form a cult and not just fans. And I want you to explain that to the listeners, the difference and what you mean by that.
When you have a cult following, you can pretty much never go. Rihanna has a cult following. 21 Savage has a cult following. Kanye has a cult following. Certain artists have a cult following to where they may never drop. They might go 3-4 years, never drop, never posting. When you got a cult following, you might be like, hey, appreciate y'all waiting. I got shirts I'm dropping for $100. When you got a cult following, say a cult following of, ain't no telling what your numbers are. A cult is going to follow you forever. They're in tune with you as a person. They idolize you as a person. They're stuck with the real you. They don't worry about your flaws. They embrace you as a person. And I think at the end of the day, on the artist side, you never want to feel fake love. So if you can be able to tap
Right.
into your real you and feel that people embrace you as who you are, it's like it feels different. It feels different when somebody walk up to me and say, "Bro, thank you for saving my life." That mean a lot more than, "Hey, bro, let me just get a pic while they got that song with such and such." Bro, watch out. You're not gonna remember me tomorrow. When that song get old,
Right.
you're not gonna remember me. So I think it's more important, and it's, it just takes a lot of work. It take people seeing your flaws. It take falling off a little minute or falling back a little minute out the spotlight. You got to like be able to like shake that strand up and just see who all, see who there
Right.
for you, who gonna rock with you. So it's kind of like I embrace that. I didn't go up overnight, but I didn't fall off either. So it's kind of like the ones that's rocking with me, we're just gonna make it bigger and attract more people or more followers, make it organic, make it as real as it's gonna get. Like, yeah.
Right. What's been from the beginning up until this point right now, and I know you've been through a lot of experiences in this business. What would you say has been the thing that you just don't like about this business? From all of those experiences, what would you say that, man, you know what, the game is dope, but it's this, I don't like this. I wish this could change.
Um, it's not a game for people with hearts, and I got a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like this it's nothing real, nothing. Nobody's your
Wizard of Oz.
huh?
Wizard of Oz, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like if you ain't come up with nobody, it's like, you have to take almost what you can get. You got to take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get personal with people even when you're a personable person, because you got to understand it's a game when people are always going to come back and tell you it's business, or it's always been about business, or you were left drop jaw like, oh my God, how did this happen?
Right.
It's life. And if you not cut the sign up for it, if you came in here just thinking you're going to get a check and that's all you care, you don't mind selling your soul because you ain't got nothing to live for or nothing going on. Hey, welcome to the industry. Come on in and enjoy yourself, make yourself at home. But if you think you're going to come in here and just be like, I'm gonna be real and get paid, and they gonna love this.
Yeah, tough guys can't go to tough. The tough guys can't make it.
Tough guys ain't really tough.
They don't want them. They don't want the tough
heart.
guys in there. Yeah, they don't want the tough guys.
Got heart. You can't have no heart in the game because it's like the ones who win and don't have a heart. It's cutthroat, right. So it's kind of like it's one of those situations where you like music might be my main outlet because that's passion and that's what I get paid off of. But I understand that my blessings that come through music only come because of the fact I'm willing to take a stand for God, and not because I'm a sellout. I know what come with it. So it's like I could have been that trap rapper that talk about shooting people. Like I know all about, we go there, we with the violence, we with all that. But I'm not trying to attract that. I don't want somebody, why you really think you like? Nah, I'm not. I'd rather take an alternate route. I'd rather talk about the girls, the drip, my life, stuff that's relatable, stuff that make people feel good, stuff that just keep you out the way. You know what I mean? Like, look at Drake.
Right.
You want to see Drake out here avoiding shootouts
Exactly.
and stuff like that. That's the lane I'm trying to take. Like, I don't glorify death. I don't glorify drugs and all this other stuff. I know what that stuff lead to. We ain't trying to go near one of them places. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
I think it's understand what you having some value, standing for something. Understand, like, I ain't gonna rock with you, but be understand the industry. When you understand the industry, then you understand the outcome.
Right. Let me ask you this, man, because it seemed like now the new thing is, people getting canceled now. Have we got to the point to where people got that much power to the point to where you don't really have you can't voice your opinion? I guess when you at a certain level in the game, you have to be obedient, because if you get off the chain and start feeling yourself or whatever, I'm gonna link it to Scarface.
Okay.
When it got to the point to where the guy put him on, and he owned, and he feel like, I don't have to answer to you no more. you know, and then Scarface gets canceled. Would you do you feel like that's a real thing in this thing, because we're seeing it happen, and the baby experiencing it. We've seen other entertainers experience it where they spoke out, Kevin Hart, all these different people or whatever, they speak out, and then we see they, you know, they come back, Snoop, you know, and they come back and have to apologize. How do you feel about that? Like with that much power being able to be canceled like that?
I ain't gonna, to be honest with you, I'm not really at that level where I can just give no expert advice. Everything everything that I am speaking on come from hypotheticals or just something that a theory that I would think.
You see it though.
I see it, but what I don't see is what people went through to get there. As in, I don't know if people sold they sold. I'm not gonna say sold they sold. I don't know them.
We don't know that.
I don't know, and I'm gonna be real. It's almost a situation where, if you know, theoretically, if you allow somebody to pimp you, the word gets around that you've been pimped, and then it's just, after that point, you can't really stand up for yourself, because it's kind of like, nah, you didn't come in on that. That's one way to look at it. But there's a lot of stand-up guys got people that appear to be stand-up that I don't feel like, to me, they probably wouldn't have took that route or didn't take that route. But because I don't know, I just I kind of lean more so to what worked for me, and that's just keeping my intentions and my intention and my heart pure. Like, I say that a lot, and I know people think it's just all about karma, but it's kind of like, it's deeper than karma. It's kind of like when you got good heart and good intentions, I'm not gonna say things can't go bad, but there's always a way to deviate back on track, because it's like, you're not looking for something. I'm like I said, I'm not looking for the come up. I'm not looking to get over on people to come up. I'm not looking to, oh, I want to be as genuine as a person I can be. That don't mean I'm gonna be nice, but my intentions and my heart is pure. So it's kind of like with both of them, I might get off course a little bit, but God got a way of bringing it back on, because it's like I never strayed away from trying to do good. You feel what I'm saying? So
the good outweigh the bad.
Right. So when some people fall off the wayside or certain things happen, I don't know what they karma have in store. I don't know what they did that I don't know about, for me to, you know, just speculate and say that, oh, this shouldn't happen to this person, or people shouldn't do that. I don't know what you did. I just know, even if it happened to me, it's like, well, y'all can say that in the third, but it's like, I trust a God it's gonna work for me. I don't care what you say. I might get paid by y'all trying to cancel me. Come on, with it.
Yeah.
Let me get some endorsements. Yeah, like,
absolutely. Yeah. You know, I want to ask you too about, I noticed this. Now, I noticed you use the for, and I noticed that the word foreign, you use that a lot. Is there some type of tie-in with that or something like that? What are the reasons? Because, you know, we got foreign forever.
Yeah, foreign. I basically use the for to say foreign.
I got you. Okay, that's because I wanted to. We was having a debate about that earlier. I was like, I think it's foreign forever. Now I don't know. So it's foreign forever.
Foreign.
So the foreign thing. Let's talk about that, because I noticed it. You got Foreign Affairs. Then we got Malcolm King, because we got several projects out there. Then we got Foreign Exchange mixtape. Then we got another foreign mixtape. Let's talk about the use of foreign though.
And for me, it's a manifesting thing. I always used to talk, like, my name Euro. Not because I'm from Europe. I enjoy certain aspects of Europeans, as far as automobiles, as far as clothing, travel. That's about it. But it's like foreign is also, you know, like part of my African ancestry. Like, you know, I got like that Shango warrior like energy, you know what I mean? Like that Pac energy. So it's like, it's different for me. Like, on a marketing aspect, yeah, you look at foreign and you would think, oh, Gucci, oh, Lamborghini, this, that, and the third. But foreign is foreign. You don't matter where you at. We get on third world country time, all that. Like, we whatever. We foreign, we out of here. Like, being here in the U.S., it's a blessing. I never limited myself to Atlanta. I never limited myself like, oh, I made it in New York. I made it. I made it in L.A. I made it. Nah, when we going overseas, we doing tours. We're foreign. Like, we foreign. It's a foreign lifestyle. It's bigger than Atlanta. It's bigger than America. Like, we ain't talking about this no more.
I
It's
feel that.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so when I say foreign is it's international, it's global to me. Like, we everywhere. We wherever we want to be, we
It's
foreign.
out the box for sure. It's out. We
Not
definitely not
saying,
in the box. I love
yeah,
that. I
all
love that.
man.
That's dope. That's dope. Now,
Yeah.
for anybody that's trying that may want to work with you, get a feature from you, or trying to sing you beats or anything like that, what's the process to do that?
Usually they can contact I got more. I don't really work my DMs like that. So I have other people that's designated to working them. So, they pretty much go through, they see features, okay, they respond to them. Then I got other people that work, for shows and stuff like that. So it's like I got different people assigned to do different things, but it's like my DMs get answered. I ain't one of them Hollywood dudes who just be sitting there like I ain't answering nobody. Somebody gonna answer. We're gonna get that bread.
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. Man, look, let's do some quick shout outs, man. Anybody that you want to shout out, your family, your crew, your staff, or anybody, your fans, anybody you want to show some love to, let's go ahead and give them their roses.
Man, definitely, man. I definitely want to shout out first AB Butler.
Shout out OG.
Man,
that's my OG right there, man.
Man, listen, man, money earning, Mount Vernon. That's what he always claiming. So, hey, shout out AB Butler. Shout out Back in the Game Entertainment. Shout out Dirty Diane.
Yeah, that's my girl right there.
That's my girl. I love her. One of the hardest doing it, like hands down. Not female. One of the hardest doing it. Head crack. My whole New York family, like everybody in New York. Like, New York is just like my extensive family, and I appreciate the embracement and the love. It's too many people really to name. Shout out, like, it's everybody that's tuned in, everybody that's rocking with me, everybody that's giving me uplifting advice, and everybody that's my motivation, and I appreciate it. Like, every day I appreciate it. Like, I can be a nobody, but I'm not because of God and the people that embrace me. So it's like I definitely give individual shout outs to everybody that's like tuned in, rocking with me. Like, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's put them social platforms out there and plug the up and coming projects that we could look forward to.
For sure. You can follow me everywhere. IG, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, TikTok. It's all the same. Euro Gotit, EUROTIT. What was the other one you said?
And
yeah, it's on the way. It's gonna be a surprise, but it's gonna be him. They gonna love it.
Now look, now we plugged in now, so I got to get the exclusive now. I'm gonna have to come to Atlanta to get it, but I need to get the exclusive now. You gotta come back on here again, and we gotta do some fan giveaways or something like that.
We're gonna do that definitely. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll do a whole campaign around the whole thing. We'll open up the phone lines and we'll give some stuff away, shirts or something like that. Whatever you want to do, we can do. We can make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now look, also too, I gotta tap in with you before we get out of there just to get your thoughts on the pandemic as from an artist perspective, and on a personal level, how you've been coping and how have you been managing to keep your brand alive with everything going on. I know things are back semi opened up and people are still moving around or whatever, but how have Euro been doing it?
Going through it and coming out of it is, one, I went to jail. So being locked up for the amount of time I've been locked up, it's like you kind of always tap into that and be like, it's bad, but it could be worse.
Right.
it was just pretty much, it just showed who was gonna sink or who was gonna swim, and it was just kind of like you made it through that, and it's kind of like that was a sign. You know, a lot of people didn't make it through. A lot of people fell off. A lot of people couldn't bounce back. A lot of people couldn't, and none of that happened. You know what I mean? Regardless of, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. I took it in stride. Like, I learned a lot from it. That was like, it was hard, but it was necessary. Like, it added to my story. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Man, listen, I know you've been dropping gems the whole time. I always ask my guests this though, man. For anybody that may be low in spirit, anybody that may be listening that maybe be locked up or whatever doing time, anybody that as an artist may be feeling like giving up, anybody might be depressed or maybe going through it, and just need to hear some uplifting words, man. Can you leave them with some words of encouragement and inspiration before we get out of here?
definitely. Find your calling. Your calling ain't gonna have nothing to do with what's on earth. It ain't gonna be the diamonds. It ain't gonna be the girls. It ain't gonna be the money. It ain't gonna be nothing. It ain't gonna be friendships. When you find your calling, it's like God gonna give you a sense of peace that's gonna make you feel like you got all of that stuff that you thought you was looking for. So everybody calling ain't to be rich. Everybody calling ain't to have it, but it's to have that sense of peace. Go for that sense of peace, like whatever that may be. Whatever you call to do, just go do it. Don't worry about all the stuff that's added to it. It ain't no happiness in none of this stuff. All these diamonds and these watches and butts, there ain't no happiness in none of this stuff. Like, nothing. Like,
Right.
so that'll be my advice. Like, go for who you supposed to be, not what you aspire to be. If it ain't tied in, because you ain't gonna never prosper how you think you should.
Man, appreciate that, my brother, for real. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow my guy right now, Euro Gotit, man. Right now, IG, YouTube, Facebook, man. He made it simple for us, man. Euro Gotit, man. He ain't giving you the super long handle. It's simple, man. Music streaming on all platforms right now, man. Y'all make sure y'all go and tap in. Music is streaming on all platforms. Y'all go tap in, go run it up on YouTube, and go run it up on the Spotify, man. Y'all go and follow my guy and tap in. Also, he got the new project that he can't discuss.
On the way.
On the way. That's all you need to know. That it's on the way. Sooner than we think. It is on the way. Listen, man, I wanna thank you so much, man. Just for hanging out with us, man, and doing this interview. This really was amazing. And for me and the team, I just wanna thank you. And I want to wish you more blessings and more success with everything you're doing, King, right now, and everything you're going to be doing in the future, man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Listen, shout out to everybody that do some quick shout outs before we get out there. Shout out to Vibe Show Casper. Shout out to Mr. Lawton TV. Shout out to King Munda. Shout out to Mark Wright. Shout out to, let's see, who else we had on here. Shout out to I Am Big Shaw. And shout out to everybody. Also shout out to Vibes with Young D. Shout out to, man, I definitely got a link. I would love to hear y'all two do something together, man. I'm going to holler at you about that off air. Yeah, but I would love to see you and D. I'm going to hit you in the DM. I'm going to forward you, like, so you can go just check him out. And I definitely, he's a big fan of yours, man. I definitely want to link y'all up and see if y'all can make some magic happen, man. But I know it'll be no combo for sure. Man, if y'all are not following the Vibe Show 97.9, make sure that y'all get tapped in. Tap in, hit that subscription, man. Turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews coming up. Y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to the Vibe Show 97.9. We can use that subscription now. Also, go log on to the official Vibe Show 97.9 radio station website where we playing music 24/7. Y'all can hear that Euro Gotit over there. Vibe Show 97.9. Y'all tap in, man, at www.vibeshow979.net. Also, y'all make sure that y'all rush over there to that app store, man, and download that official Vibe Show 97.9 official mobile app. That way you can have us with y'all all the time. Follow us on Instagram as well at the Vibe Show 97.9 FM on Instagram. And that's the Vibe Show 97.9 FM on Instagram. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Y'all be safe if you are out there moving around. I love y'all. It's the Vibe Show 97.9.